In 2020, Brooks made national news for having the highest rate of COVID-19 infection per capita in all of Canada. At one point, 8.5% of the community of 14,000 were dealing with an active case. But this wasn't the first time the prairie town has dealt with a pandemic of global proportions. Spanish influenza arrived in Alberta on October 2nd, 1918. Soldiers who returned to Calgary from the First World War brought it in by train. Their bags were fumigated and they were isolated, but that did little to stop the spread. By the 16th, the infection spread to Edmonton, and health officials started urging people to stay home. Schools, theaters, and churches were closed with the Public Health Act. On October 25th, masks were made mandatory for anyone outside. And then on the 30th, all non-essential stores were closed, with some offering telephone-ordered goods for pickup. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? The Bulletin reported Brooks's first case on October 17th. E.F. Purcell, the owner of the local clothing store, was the one who had it. Town council banned public meetings for 30 days, and in November, they rented out the Oxford Hotel to make a temporary hospital. Several people were cared for there under Mrs. Elliott, a nurse from Calgary. Homesteaders near the Red Deer River also had a particularly tough time dealing with the virus. Constable Higgins of Brooks spent several days assisting those suffering. He reported that there were 3 deaths in just one house north of Dutchess, and there were 2 others that likely wouldn't live. But like the coronavirus of 2020, tough times brought people together. Soup kitchens were set up for patients, and carpools were organized for delivery. Volunteers checked on neighbors and brought food and water. By the end of November, almost every Albertan community had been impacted in some way. Quarantined houses placed a placard in their window, but not everybody decided to flag their homes. Also, not everyone agreed with the government's decision to shut down. Churches circulated pamphlets condemning the closure. But it didn't last for too long. On November 30th, it was lifted, and stores immediately reopened. There were several flare-ups after social distancing measures came to an end, but they were much smaller, with little disruption to daily life. The flu returned the next 2 winters and killed around 50 million people worldwide, among them 3,300 Albertans. Symptoms included a temperature of 101 to 103 degrees Fahrenheit, fatigue, coughing, and signs of a respiratory infection. The fatigue often lasted 14 days, and the recovery or death from pneumonia usually came in 7 days. Most of those affected were 20 to 40 years old.